Whether it's in CrossFit, weight training, or any other sport, the term functional movement is used all the time, but this label often sparks criticism, and sometimes rightfully so. That's why today we're gonna talk about this very specific topic together. Let's go. Typically, when people refer to functional movements, they're talking about exercises that replicate everyday movement patterns, like lifting something above your head with overhead press, picking something up from the floor with deadlift, sitting down and getting back up with a squat. That definition is not exactly wrong, but it oversimplifies the topic and leaves out some nuance. So let's get deeper into it, and if we look at the exact definition of the word functional, it simply means that fulfills a function. So a functional movement is a movement that fulfills a function. That's all. So, by that strict definition, any movement your body can produce is technically functional. Knee extension, elbow flexion, hip rotation, they all serve a biological function. They're all functional in their own way. So, why is it that some exercises are labeled as functional while others are not? And this is when things get interesting. The movements we perform in daily life tend to be multi-joint, so compound, requiring balance, stability and coordination, performed without warm-up, performed without any specific equipment and way less useful than a barbell or a dumbbell, and tending to accomplish a specific task. In contrast, gym exercises usually are performed in idealized settings with machines and equipment designed to specifically target a muscle or guide a movement. And that's why exercises such as the squat, the deadlift or the overhead press are said to have a greater transfer to real-life tasks. And when a person's training goal is to improve the quality of life, especially in older populations or general fitness clients, these compound movements are usually favored by coaches. For example, teaching an older adult to squat can help him get down and back up from the toilet, which can make his life easier and more independent. In that context, yes, the squat is highly functional. But here's the problem. Just because a movement does not mimic an everyday task does not mean it is not functional. Let's get back to our older person example who's trying to learn how to squat. Suppose their balance and joint health are fine, but their quad strength is the limiting factor. In that situation, maybe leg extension can be more accessible, especially on the short term, and maybe even more efficient than teaching the squat. And once you factor in past injuries, mobility restrictions, equipment availability, fears and confidence, it becomes clear that you have to consider each athlete case by case. Because what's functional for an athlete might not be for another one, because function depends on context. So instead of strictly following a list of so-called functional movements, it's actually more productive to identify the specific limitation, the desired outcome, and the best exercise or exercises to reach that outcome in the situation. That exercise can be a squat, and it can be something entirely different. Final thought about this topic: by definition, every movement is functional because it serves a function. So the real question is not, is this exercise functional? But instead, what function am I trying to work? And what's the best exercise to use with this specific athlete? There is no magical one-size-fits-all program, and your job as a coach is to adapt, individualize, and choose exercises that fit the situation, the goals, and the limitations. Once you start using this method, the results will speak for themselves. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, suggestions, or anything else, feel free to drop a comment down below, and if you want to contact me straight through my social medias, the links are in the description. I'll see you next Sunday, and until then, train hard, stay consistent, and never forget, make yourself proud.